Welcome to Turn to Your Neighbor. This is the Christian Talk Show where we talk about the church, music, movies, social media, and a whole lot more. My name is Cliff. This is Dr. T.
Hey, neighbors.
And this is Big Dre.
What up? He messed me up. What up, neighbor? That was my own version of an air horn.
All right.
I bring my own air horn with me. Yo, so much is happening. There's so many things. I'm excited to be here. Have you been bumping Kanye West like I've been bumping Kanye West?
We are going to talk about that.
It's a lie. I have not listened.
You have not listened to it at all.
I lied. And I listened to a little bit of it, and then I got mad for Bri Babineaux, and then the whole. I'm off track already. Well. I'm off track already. Anyway, you have a whole show. I'm not going to take us off. Okay. I got some things to say today, though. I got some things for the people. I got some thoughts. I have a lot of questions. I have questions that I need people to address, and so I'm gonna just maybe share one or two. I've been writing them down now because my mind is not what it used to be.
That's the truth.
Wow, I see. There we go. Wow.
Because neither is mine.
Can I give a shout out to the neighborhood? Like, I really do appreciate y'all. Y'all come out here, mess with us, just chill with us. I appreciate y'all, especially some of y'all got whole real jobs and families and whatnot. And so I appreciate you. No, I'm serious. People got jobs and multiple
they all
jobs.
have real jobs.
Hey, man. Let me give a shout out to the Ghost Watcher, Sherry. I see you. Don't text me. Just go to the neighborhood. None of y'all text me.
Come on
yeah,
in,
man. Dr. T
the water's
is in there
fine.
Yo, people out here just bothering me.
She texts you during the show?
She texts me during the show.
So when she has comments, she texts you.
She'll text me because she doesn't want to get in there because she's afraid. She's literally afraid they're going to roast her. I'm like, what are they going to do?
No,
they're yelling at me.
They just roast Mac and Angela.
Yes, like
for all y'all listening, Mac and Angela only want to get roasted.
That's a mutual thing, though.
Yeah,
they go back and forth. Mm-hmm.
That 100% is. But I appreciate y'all. What up to Fitz? Everybody's out there.
Because we have definitely had people just randomly come in, say out of pocket stuff, and the neighbors don't even mention it. Don't say nothing at all.
You remember that?
They have ignored it.
Yeah, but let
some stuff is weird.
Let Mac or Angela say something just a slight bit off, and they're all going in.
Can we talk about this now? We're far enough removed from it. So there was a process there of about 2 to 3 weeks straight during the pandemic in which somebody came in begging us for money. That sounds insensitive.
Yeah.
Maybe they really were going through a hard time. I didn't believe them. But they came in here constantly just asking for money. And I was like, and what's funny is, you know how in the church, if somebody says something wild, actually just black people in general, somebody says something real wild, we just sometimes act like it doesn't happen. And we just like, okay. And there was no acknowledgement of it. This person typed out their whole life story, and everybody just typed around
like
them.
This much of the screen.
Like it didn't happen.
People like,
because if you see any like Christian related live, you've seen that type of person do that.
Oh, I haven't.
So
okay.
Like, yeah, that type of person goes in and I need money for this, and yeah, it's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
At one time, I did say, well, if you need help, God bless. I hope you being blessed or something. I just felt the need to bless them. But I ain't blessing with no Venmo. You out your mind.
I saw, this is slightly late. One dude I know on Twitter, somebody, this guy is pretty well off. Somebody asked him for money, and his response was a stock tip.
Okay.
Like, this stock is looking real good right now. You might want to.
He said, bam, there it is. Try it out. But is that us as Christians? Are we supposed to be doing better? I don't know. I'm imperfect. Sue me. It's okay.
What's up to all the neighbors out there? Thank you for hanging with us tonight. Do me a favor right now, and please share right now where you are on YouTube, on Facebook. Share with someone you love, someone you don't love. Just share with anybody. Hit the like button. Do something.
Let me give you too much information real quick. So I'm on a family Zoom this weekend, right?
Okay.
My mother, I love my mother. My mother is one of my biggest hype people in life. And so I appreciate. Well, he got the show every Tuesday. Uh-huh. And she gonna tell her, I'm like, okay, shh. All right, because it's like I don't really want everybody watching because I need to keep my job. And so because I thought of a couple jokes I made about 2 weeks ago. I said, yep, that might get me fired. And so I was like, they're like, you better make it go viral. I said, no, I don't. I just want to stay
Zoom,
right here.
This is a family Zoom.
It's a family Zoom. I don't need
why
the
you worried
support.
about work people finding out about a family Zoom?
Because I have one or two family members with enough connections that can make it really actually do something that could actually let people see it. And I just don't want. I need the smallest complaints.
There's always people who see this that I'm surprised that they
exactly.
Well, I don't anticipate that they watch. A lot more people are watching in the privacy of their prayer closets on YouTube on demand, and then they'll mention something.
They'll mention something. Freak me out.
I have not, when I mistakenly said a curse word. I'm so bad about that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get kicked out of my church, but nobody said anything.
That's good.
Listen,
but yeah,
it was at the end.
To all of you that are shame watching right now, thank you for watching.
To you,
we would appreciate if you joined in the chat.
All of you in the shame
say what's up. You can watch live, but those of you that are shame watching us on demand, we appreciate you.
Yo, why is my picture so blurry on the Facebook? Can y'all see me?
Yeah, it's blurry.
It's blurry.
Yeah. I have a good camera. I paid for that. Okay, anyway. But yeah, we don't need them up in here. Shout out to Pastor Hampton. What up? Does he want us to call him Pastor here?
He said, I've been calling him Pastor Hampton from the very beginning.
I know. Sometimes
he's the neighborhood pastor.
Can we talk about that?
You earned the title of pastor.
But sometimes people want to be free of those titles because there is a level of responsibility that comes with it that they just can't be themselves.
Or people don't want to drink around you, then you stop getting invited to cookouts, and there's your social life.
There's someone in my one of my peoples, and they're in the ministry, and they can't. They like to. They don't drink to get drunk, but they like a little sip. If they are in public and to sip, they ask for it to be brought to them in a coffee mug. Because they never know who's watching. And I said, that would be a tough life to live. Yes. But I understand it. It's the wildest thing, man. It's wild.
I figured this would be his stance, but Pastor Hampton put in the chat, my mama named me Richard. So on Facebook, he uses his government name on Facebook, not his church name. Because there are people out here that are Prophetess Johnson, and that's their Facebook name. Evangelist Williams. That's who you are on Facebook. Okay.
What's wrong with Mac? Mac, we're not gonna start with the Beyonce slander today. She didn't do nothing to y'all. Y'all still mad. Y'all mad at her for wearing somebody else's diamonds. Y'all still mad about that. I don't know why.
She's a subpar actress. Okay. Nobody's gonna say.
Oh, she is a terrible voiceover actress. See, and here we go with the blood diamonds. I knew he was gonna go there. Anyway. What you got today? I'm not hijacking your show. What you got, bro?
It's all right. So you mentioned it already, so let's talk about it. Kanye West just dropped the album this past week called Donda. Donda, right?
It's Donda. That's
Donda. All right. An album that includes a lot of faith-based songs. And the album was trending on Twitter when it was released. One of the songs from the album titled Jesus Lord was trending worldwide. So I figured we would talk about it. What are your thoughts about their Kanye album? Do you have any? Did you listen? Did you hear it at all? Did you hear a song? Do you have any thoughts at all?
So I've been listening. I see. I'm going to tell myself. I listen to way too much media surrounding hip hop.
Okay.
And I listen to way too much of it. Okay. People are texting me right now. Sherry, leave me alone. But yes. And so I had been listening to the hype up that was surrounding this and building up to it. Mm-hmm. I feel you know how people talk about being culture vultures?
Okay.
Can you be a culture vulture for gospel?
I guess.
Because he's picking and choosing the parts that he wants and he's using it as the background in a lot of his tracks, and he's using, I guess, quote unquote spirituality, but it's not really a gospel album. It's just he's taking the soulfulness of the gospel music, and people have been doing that for years. But it's like this is his second album in a row, though, and it's really heavy on this album.
Okay.
It's
How is that
really heavy
different
on this
from
album.
like I don't know, Charlie Wilson or Snoop or the
Snoop did a whole
host of
well, that's my question.
artists who do that type of thing.
Can you be a culture vulture in gospel? I mean, it's a real question.
I think Kanye is right. And Kurt Franklin said this a while ago. Like Kanye is on his journey.
Okay.
And as far as his walk with God, and most of us, when we were, a lot of us here grew up in church, so it's kind of different. But for those of who didn't grow up in church, or some of us that even did, when you're on your journey and your desire to get closer to God, you know that we all have that part in life, that pull when God is like pulling you. You feel God pulling you closer to Him.
Right.
We all got to do that in private.
Okay.
Kanye is doing this in public.
Okay. That's a concept.
Good or bad, he's doing this in public. And what any gift, anything that's in you is going to come out, and you're going to want to use that because you have this new feeling. So music is in him, production and rhyming, all that stuff is in him. So it's gonna come out, and he has all this creativity. He's got to let that stuff out. But you have this desire to let out your gifts, and also this pull from God. So when the two are, we're watching the two of them meet up.
Right. I think that I really like that, Cliff. But I think we're watching both a process of coming to Jesus, coming into the full knowledge of who Jesus is, accepting Jesus into your heart, fully allowing the Holy Spirit in and start to change you. And we're also watching some other internal processes, I think, play out that we are not qualified to diagnose on this show.
Definitely.
But I think that we're watching multiple things at play. And so it looks like that. But what part of the journey required the whole Trump support? I'm trying to figure out which part of the journey he was on there. And what is it about Kanye West that allows him to have such a... Why does he get a hall pass in the Black community?
So, all right. So
let
me hit the first one because Natalie's bringing it up now. We're not just going to talk about the intersectionalities of mental health, religiosity, and trying to understand God overall. Yeah. So this out, like I said, everything that was in him. I think when you're talented, it's going to come out in your craft. Like comedians, they bring their pain on stage and we laugh at it. So I think he is going through, like, he's dealing with the loss of his mother. He's dealing with the loss of his marriage and his journey with God. All that is like being thrown up in this album. If you listen to different things, all that is coming out in this album. And so that's just one of the things that he's fighting with. But he's doing this, like I said, we do it in private. He's doing it in public.
It's one of the most interesting things. You asked a very interesting question. Why does Kanye keep getting a hall pass? And this is something, and I actually do believe it. Talent gives you room. Like, talent gives you room to make mistakes, and people forgive you more. I think Kanye West is probably one of the most talented overall people that many of us have seen. Whether or not we like him or not is a different thing. But the way he's able to, he produces hot music, period. People tend to dig his fashion for whatever reason. It sells a whole lot. I don't get it. It looks very bum chic to me. I don't get it. And his shoes are trash, in my opinion. Y'all can pay $500 for Yeezys if you want to. But he has something. He has an it that creates room for his forgiveness. It's very gonna be mad. It's very similar in the way a lot of people gave Michael passes.
Yeah.
And very similar in the way a lot of people towards the end gave Prince passes. Prince was a wild boy, especially for the Black community. And they called him a wild bull, but they also called him one of the most talented people that they've ever seen in his life. And so a lot of times your talents will make room for you, and it gives you a little bit of extra leeway.
And I know a young person who is the complete opposite politically of what Trump and Kanye believe. This person is definitely more on the progressive, Bernie Sanders Democrat side. And he told, when I asked him, well, you love Kanye, but you couldn't be more different politically. And he looked at me and he said, it's about the music. I'm just here for the music.
Okay.
And so he separated it. And so I think that's what a lot of people are doing. They're separating the two. Like, I like your music. I may not agree with you politically, but I like your music.
Yeah, I just feel like certain people, and because I'm me, I'm going to call out, I think, men. That's what I mean by certain people are allowed, have a different amount of capital. So they're able to translate that fame or their second chances or their hall passes into a certain amount of capital, regardless of how far they fall in terms of like public breakdown. Kanye for years was obviously in like very public. He was going through breakdown in public, and it just kept expressing itself in different ways. I think back to even like a Whitney Houston, who was having some issues with her voice in the end. I get that, but she's Whitney Houston, and I don't think that she ended on top, if you will. I think that she was still struggling. So I just wonder what makes, I think that we give Black men a lot more chances. And I think that Black women are a lot more disposable, especially in the music industry.
It's an unfair double standard.
I'll give you that, most definitely. Well, somebody asked a question. Dre, are you putting Kanye on Prince and MJ status? I'll be quite frank with you. If you just look at the numbers and you look at not only him, but what he does for others, you have to. Kanye's at that level. No, I'll put it this way. While they were on their way, none of those two were billionaires.
Yeah, I understand. But I understand your point as far as numbers and everything. I would still argue that, of course, the other two are much more iconic still. But
to you, you're old. And that's something we have to accept. We are all addressing this as above 35 people. To people
I am not above 35. Well,
let me
let's just
clarify all that.
So if MTV, since we're talking about old stuff, if MTV was still what MTV used to be, and they come up with those lists, do you think there's any list that Kanye would be ahead of Michael Jackson and Prince on? Other than sales?
I think he'll be ahead of Prince. I think the general public, people who love music, love Prince. The general public loves Kanye much more than they love Prince, ever. I will argue that to the death of me.
Yeah, if I were to ask students in my hip hop class, sing a Prince song, and then I said, sing something from Kanye, a lot more of them, everybody would be able to sing a Kanye song or spit a Kanye lyric. Maybe half of them would know a Prince song. And some of them know, but they just don't know it's Prince. They've heard it. It's been in the background of their lives at some point. So I do think that because Prince was such an artist, after a certain point in his career, he was still Prince, but he wasn't like, I don't think the fame was at the same level.
So I'm too pretty to have this pixelated picture. I'm gonna sign out and just sign back in. Y'all keep doing what y'all do. It's really bothering me. It's just my vanity. I'm not gonna lie.
I was gonna transition, but I will wait till you come back to transition to that.
Okay, brother. I'm gonna just But I'll be.
Okay, so it's Matt's comment. Sir, you are a lie, and the truth ain't in you. Prince is Prince. Kanye is a dude that can make beats. Well, Mac falls into the old category, like the rest.
Right.
But
No doubt the artistry is a different level, but it's just Kanye has been able to do things. I think, especially when you think at the intersection of artistry and entrepreneurialism.
Yeah. But I guess I guess you can be considered an icon, but not have the financial success of someone else. So that's the deal. Or is he as big as an icon as the others? That's the question.
He will be. I mean, I think that
Yeah.
this is, you know what I think about all the time? The Kanye that said, I think it's obvious that George Bush doesn't really care about Black people. That's the Kanye that I F's with. And I think that all of us are hoping that somewhere deep down in there, that Kanye still lives and breathes and may revive himself. He may resurrect at some point. But I don't know.
I got one more thing. Real last person. All of us, Pastor Hampton, all of us have a certain age. Remember MJ on Motown 25 hitting the moonwalk. We remember Prince halftime show. What's Kanye's breakout moment? If you want to be honest, what his breakout moment is,
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. He shut down the single most powerful musical entity on the earth at that point in time and literally took the mic from her, and he survived. He didn't survive, but he's still blowing her and every other artist out there out of the water, and that's including my beloved J and B. He's bigger than them, just numbers wise.
He took the mic from her to prop up Beyonce.
Yep.
Like that part too.
And so it's a cultural moment. Like people still make fun. So he is, if people don't want to admit it, it's Ye is Ye. And I love his early music. I was a Ye head very early on. Like I loved his early music.
Oh,
but
yeah.
He's the man is just different.
Does he have any song that's as
Jesus
iconic?
Walks?
Is Jesus Walks as iconic as Purple Rain?
Gold Digger?
Jesus Walks as iconic as Thriller?
Depends on who you're asking.
See, I think that, but that's almost unfair.
Yeah, I'm not even saying before the MJ fans kill me. I'm not saying Thriller is the best MJ song. This is the first one that came to mind.
But that was huge. The Thriller album is the most iconic of the iconic MJ albums.
But we could
let's not go down this rabbit hole.
But Kanye is that for a different generation.
Yeah,
I think he is that for millennials.
Yeah.
Because he did it, because you had to do it at multiple levels. Mm-hmm. See, you could, in a sense, focus on your artistry and being an icon was required less. Like Kanye has to be social media famous or social media relevant at least to be an icon. And I think there's a lot of artists who would not have been able to really play that game.
Prince can never be Prince in this generation because he wanted to be mysterious. He couldn't do it. His talent would still be there, but the mysterious that he wanted to be behind and live in Minnesota. Nah, man, you got social media.
Imagine it's like Twitter.
Yo, wild.
All right, we're gonna move. All right,
let's move on. Let's move on.
All day.
I can be here all day. I can't believe y'all got me out here defending Kanye too. This was not my intention tonight, but let's keep it moving. Yeah.
But this next thing is related. So one of the songs on Kanye's album is entitled "Lord, I Need You," and it features a sample of the song "Make Me Over." So the sample that is on the album is from the recorded version that Bri Babineaux did, and but the original song, Bri Babineaux's version, is a sample of the original version from B.Slade, which everybody used to know as Tone. So after the record came out, Bri Babineaux went on Instagram and said, "Thank you to everyone who congratulated me on the Donda album. However, I had no knowledge of this beforehand. It would have been nice to know before the album came out." Who does that sound like to y'all? Hashtag Donda. I'm not sure if anyone has listened to this song.
I have. I listened to it.
Yes, I could not tell whose voice that is.
That's hers.
If she says it's hers, then I'm gonna take your word for it.
If you actually you're gonna get me into a musical nerd thing. So what actually happened was she went viral off of one of her clips that she did singing this song.
So it's not even off the recording.
It's not the recorded version.
He sampled something that was on YouTube.
He sampled a clip that went viral of her singing this a cappella, just worshiping.
Yeah,
because she was looking rough, and you could tell she had been tarrying for about 45 minutes, snotting. It was her and the Lord, and she was singing her heart out. And what's interesting is the sample he used. It matches her run for run, and like I saw her post. She posted, "Thank y'all. I wish I had known about it." Then she posts her clip, and then she posts the Kanye version because he played it at one of his Donda release parties in Chicago, and it's run for run. All he did was screw her voice. But you chop and screw something, you slow it down. That's all he did to it.
So there were people, of course, trying to support sister and saying, "Go get your coin, lawyer up, do this, do that." And then my man Tone, B.Slade, excuse me, brother, B.Slade. Then my man B.Slade went to Twitter and had this to say: "But you didn't call me to clear your version of the song that was sampled, though. You were discovered by doing a rendition of a song I wrote 100%. So Kanye stole nothing because he came to the right owner of the song legally. Let's all be clear here." So basically what B.Slade, I'm sorry, brother. Basically what B.Slade is saying is that Kanye did clear the rights to the song. Kanye went to B.Slade and they worked out. According to what B.Slade put on Twitter, Kanye went to B.Slade months ago and played him the version of the song. So for all you neighbors that don't know, when you hear a song recorded on radio or on Spotify or somewhere else, there are two parts. Legally, there are two parts to the song.
Give him the law, brother.
There is the publishing, which is the writing and the composing of the music, and then there is the performance. So here's a perfect example. Let's take the song "Take Me to the King" by Kirk Franklin, by Tamla Mann. Kirk Franklin wrote it. Tamla Mann recorded it. If I got some singers together and we sung "Take Me to the King" and we released it, and I would need to pay Kirk Franklin for that because I took Kirk's words and his music and I performed it. If I took the recording that Tamla Mann did and I sampled it on the album, I need to pay Kirk and Tamla because I took Tamla's recording, her artistry, and I took Kirk's words, his artistry, and I sampled it. So technically, especially since Dre is convinced that there's definitely her voice, technically Kanye probably owes sister Bri at least some notoriety, if not some money.
But if it was on YouTube, then Google owns it.
Exactly.
That's what
exactly.
Because she put it out there, it's free source.
Read the terms and conditions, sis.
And since posting, because I'm reading off of an article, she has since taken down this message off of Instagram.
Because somebody informed her.
Somebody, so you really have no leg to stand on.
That's okay, baby. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. That's not how it works, baby. That's not how it works.
Somebody's whole lawyer made quick. Hey, to go ahead and take that down, player. No,
see, that's the thing. People will be having you real hype.
Oh yeah,
on social media and be leading you astray all down the
Go get it, sis. No, you're lucky Tone didn't come after you. Tone could have came after you. Yeah,
exactly.
So stop.
Yeah, and if you have time, you should go check out at B.Slade on Twitter. Go check out the feed from him posting this, and there are people who actually siding with Bri and saying he's low class, he don't know what he's doing. And of course, he had every right to come at them out of pocket, but he nicely corrected people and said, "No, this is how it is." But yeah, there were a lot of people that were siding with her, and blaming him for even bringing it up.
I mean, Bruno Mars has made an entire career out of this. So,
as long as you pay the right people, you can do it. And if you don't pay the right people,
I don't know that he do that. Wilson been real mad at Bruno Mars. At some point, it's just like, is this mimicry? I think there's a fine line. But Kanye also, his hip hop roots, he is sampling as a part of how he even expresses himself musically. Because I think at the end of the day, he's a hip hop artist. So
he is. But yeah, They weren't ready for that. But yeah, it was very interesting though. Shout outs to Sis. Her baby hairs in this picture are wonderful. I love what she's doing
and for
there.
some of y'all don't
Beautiful.
know, Bri Babineaux, 3 or 4 years ago, there was a viral video of a woman on the couch singing "He's Able."
Yeah, that's her.
This is her. She looks a little different in this picture than she does in that video.
Because I'm telling you, during those worship sessions, Bri was going through some things, and then when she puts her on the screen, she done had the makeup and all types of stuff. But she was in real tearing at that moment, and she wasn't ready for all that. That's all. They shouldn't have put her on the TVs at that point in time. But her voice is undeniable.
They were just, that was before she even got signed. They were just worshiping in the living room.
Her like 3 other people, yeah. But she's tough though. At some point, we will have to talk. It will be nobody will watch this, but I would love to talk about it. Nobody will watch it, but Tonei's real place in gospel history. Because if you talk, people are gonna be upset about this again. But if you know music and you listen to Tonei was as talented as a lot of people.
Oh yeah, you could argue he probably.
I know, but I don't want to go there because people gonna get upset.
No, you could argue if he was in gospel right now, you could make an argue he's the most talented person in gospel.
He is.
Oh wow.
Tonei's sick.
Singing,
go back and live.
Writing, yeah.
He's been writing for people.
Dance.
Yeah,
like he. Oh yeah.
And he was an influencer in gospel music. Like he was pushing sounds at a time where people weren't doing some of those things. He was talking about things. Anyway,
and he's still putting music out there, and that is a part of this story though, because that was his point. Why do people just act like he doesn't exist?
Yeah,
like he's still here.
That's true.
He's like, I'm still here. Why are you writing me out of my narrative?
Right.
That's ridiculous.
That's a valid point.
He's incredibly gifted, and I'm going to say we, and whoever wants to attach himself to the we, you can.
Mm-hmm.
We cast him aside after he came out as same gender loving.
He did.
We cast him aside and we like cut him off quickly, and it was unfortunate. And I looking back, I wish it wasn't like that. I just wish we had a different mindset. I'm going to say that. I wish we had a different mindset. I'm not saying that was biblically right and biblically wrong. I'm not even getting into that discussion. I wish we extended him more grace than we did as a gospel music community.
He was
ahead of his time.
He was 100%.
Yeah,
100%. If ahead of your time was embodied, it's like him, Prince, and MJ. Like they were that type of people, just ahead of their time.
Yeah. In a lot of ways.
Yep. He was
at that period, it was like you could be a whoremonger, as they say, but only in one expression of that.
Yep.
It was just the wrong. It was the wrong season. It was the wrong season. I think that now things are perhaps opening up. I mean, I think that we see with the Walls group, like they didn't get.
I would love to have a Darrell and Tonei mashup, because just with the music that could come out of there would be wild. It would also trigger some larger conversations. But I'm sure you have other topics, brother. I'm not going to hijack our show.
And we probably said this before. If Tonei if B.Slade at the time when he was Tonei had got the same love that Darrell Walls had received, if he hadn't gotten that back then, he would probably still be Tonei right now and not B.Slade.
Is it Darrell or Darrell?
I'm not sure.
I'll be saying both.
Brother Walls.
There you go.
There we go.
Okay, so all right, so that the whole Kanye, Bri, B.Slade, that was one big news story. The other kind of big news story in the church streets. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with Prophet Brian Carn.
I've heard the name.
And he is known to give many a prophecy. He is also known to give many maybe inaccurate, or like he'll predict somebody wins and they don't win, like a sporting event.
Okay.
Like he'll prophesy like so and so was going to win and that team in fact does not win. And also there's one time he allegedly copied who someone might consider a witch. So there's a YouTube video of a woman who people may consider a witch. Like she's not a Christian, she's like a witch. She's not like a
Okay.
Christian, they call him a witch. And his prophecy almost copies her word for word.
Oh, really?
And hers was before him.
So there's plagiarizing prophecy.
Now there's another allegation of him plagiarizing. I'm going to play both. This woman's name is Tiphani Montgomery. So you're going to hear her prophecy first, and then his prophecy. This one is related to COVID and, of all things, Listerine. So I want you and the neighbors to check this out.
Yeah.
Did you see Dr. T roll her eyes? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Were equipped, if you will. So earlier, I was just in prayer, really just in silence with God, and I kept hearing God say, "Get Listerine, get Listerine," and it was specific, the yellow kind. Now, many of you call it brown, some of you call it gold. What I heard was yellow. It's all the same thing, as long as it's the original Listerine kind, not the purple kind, not the pink kind, not the orange kind. It needs to be the original Listerine. I heard the word of the Lord, and he said, Listerine. Now, here's the thing about this. Right?
I can't hear it.
Yeah, it's coming.
Oh, sorry.
That's the original one, ain't it? Why? I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna be dying from breath or what, but I'm just saying that the Lord said, amen. The Lord said that. All right. Make sure we again, I don't know why. I don't know why. All right. But I'm telling you now, before there's a shortage.
Yeah, so the audio, I apologize, the audio was just low. That's just the recording was low. But basically, Prophet, her name is Tiphani Montgomery. I'm not familiar with her ministry, so I can't say, how about the history of her accuracy or anything like that. But so she went live one day and said, the Lord said, get Listerine. And the Lord said, get the gold Listerine, not the red, not the purple, not the green, not the blue, but get the gold Listerine, the original gold yellow Listerine. And so days later, Brian Carn, as you can see, this is the brother on the right, he was in the service and he said, God said, get Listerine. Go get the gold Listerine. I don't know why, but he says, go get Listerine. So I'll if you guys have any thoughts, because there's more to this. You have any thoughts so far?
I didn't realize there were so many different colors and flavors of Listerine. Let me say.
I love that.
First of all, I'm like, is it really? She started listening. She said, don't get this kind, don't get this kind. I've seen like the turquoise, purple, and the yellow. Anyway.
I've seen
that's about how serious I take this.
Yeah, and the prophecy never says what the Listerine is for, but she started and said the Lord said. And again, I'm not familiar with her ministry before this video, so just take that at you will. But so then,
can I tell you why this resonates with me?
Go ahead.
This resonates with me because
you got to think about breath.
Well, along the path during the pandemic, when everything first got locked down and everybody was rushing to make these vaccines, I use Plax. Does anybody here know what Plax is? Plax is a rinse that you use on your mouth before you brush to loosen up the plaque on your teeth. It's green usually. And Johnson & Johnson was spending all their time trying to come up with a vaccine that ended up getting them in trouble halfway in any case. And they stopped making what I needed, which was the Plax. And I couldn't find my Plax. And so I had to start buying this off-brand that tasted off-brand. It was like Equate or something. Don't mess with that stuff. I wanted the Plax. And so I could understand what they say, that if just in case something may start to run out, I've been buying double bottles of Plax ever since. I have.
Okay.
One on the counter and one underneath. So I'm not a Listerine guy, but I understand what it is about oral health. Amen. Oral health.
All right. So after people called out Carn and said, you copying this sister, he went live, and I'll play you a piece of what he said when he went live.
I want to say this. I did not personally hear the word of the Lord through my ears concerning the Listerine thing. God did not speak to me. God did not speak in my ear concerning the Listerine piece. And for me not to say that when uh, for me not to say that when I said what I said, I assume can come across as a misrepresentation. So for me not to say it is pride on my part. Okay. So for me not to say I received this from this person because I didn't receive it from that person, but I didn't hear it from the Lord. It's obvious that you heard it before I heard it, because if you look at the date of her post and look at when I said it, it's after. So because of that, it has to be after. I did not hear it from her, but I did not hear it from God. You understand? So because I didn't hear it from God, and I'm assuming that she's the one who gave the prophetic word, and I repeated it, for me not to say her name was a misrepresentation to seem as if I received it personally for myself. So in that regard, let me repent to you. That's pride on my part. I didn't recognize
something.
it, but that was pride on my part not to say I got this from so and so.
And so just a quick recap. In the first video, he said, God said, go get gold Listerine. And so now he's saying that I did not hear that word from the Lord. He also didn't hear Prophet Tiphani say it directly either. I guess somebody else probably heard Prophet Tiphani say it and told him. And then he decided to pass that on as the word from the Lord. You guys got any thoughts?
Wait a minute. He just admitted to lying.
Yes.
Yes.
He basically admitted to being a false prophet.
You know what he looks like?
At least in that instance. Now, I'm not saying for the entirety of his career, but in that word was it was an illegitimate word, if you want to call it that.
He looks like the clean this up, pick that off the floor. That's what, take yourself a shower. That's what you need to do. This is what this is giving me that energy.
Yeah.
Like you doing the most. And you just need to chill out. Like he also seems like he's Chris's comment was really funny earlier about sign language, but he sounds like it's like when my students are explaining why they cheated. It's like, well, I read it and then I thought this applies to my topic, but I just didn't put it in quotes. But they're not my words, but it applied to my topic. So I put it in the paper. It's like, boo, that's plagiarism.
This would have had the same impact if he would have just said, I heard a prophet say blah, blah, blah. And you know what? I received that. And I feel like that is what the Lord is saying to us in this season.
That aligns with my spirit.
Yeah, that line. He could have, and that would have been the same impact.
Yep.
But for whatever reason, he chose to say the Lord said, when God did not say anything to him. God did not say that to him at all.
I have to let me just real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have to give him props for actually putting the video up. That's wonderful.
And he repented.
It is Gary Clausen here said this looks like a student that didn't do the reading. He's like, this is a student that didn't do the reading. I was like, yes, that's what this is. He spent 5 minutes explaining this, and with all the hand motions, he just said, I messed up. Can I talk about what's really upsetting me about this whole piece, though? Yeah. And we're going to need to address this. I'm going to need the neighbors to help me out on this. I don't understand why people are still wearing this collar. I hate this collar. I hate this tie. I hate how big it has. I hate it. I hate when I see you wear it. I think you're terrible. And y'all be thinking y'all doing it. And I know a lot of people out. Y'all be on IG just thinking you killing it. There's no way for the tie itself, the knot to look good, because y'all don't know how to tie it. It looks terrible. Stop with these collars. Stop. I had one. I saw what it looked like, and I stopped. You should stop too. You look ridiculous. First of all, and I would like to say that tie would be an amazing bow tie, by the way. That tie would be an amazing bow tie.
So Tiphani Montgomery responded to this video. I'm going to play a clip from it. But Pastor Hampton makes a good point. if you're a prophet, do you need to prophesy weekly, monthly, once and done? So I think when you are that level of prophet, I think it's probably you feel some kind of internal pressure, and it's probably just pressure you put on yourself that you got to give the people a word from a thus saith the Lord every time you grab the mic. Or every
Yep.
time you're in front of them, especially if this wasn't his church, if he was visiting a church and they brought him in to preach, he probably felt I got to give you a thus saith the Lord while I'm here.
I charge you this money and I charge you 2 offerings. I have to give you
That's a
something
lot
different.
of pressure.
It is.
I didn't even think about that.
I'm not saying that's definite, but I could understand
Yep.
if he put that on himself. But here's Tiphani Go ahead.
He's a traveling act. He's an act. Oh, that sounds bad. But he's a traveling act. He has to give a different performance each night. That's why y'all be careful with some of these people y'all let on your pulpits, but we're going to say that for another show. Go ahead, brother. You were going to say something.
Okay, here is Tiffany's response to this video we just saw.
I want to say about this specific false prophet that I'm speaking of, he has misrepresented the prophetic office for a very long time. As a matter of fact, I think any of you who are still even listening to this man is just a whole fool. Let's just be honest. Let me let you understand why he did this. He's doing this because he wants you all to think that God is still speaking to him. And God has stopped speaking to this false prophet a very long time ago. This is not a man that I don't not know. I know this guy I'm talking about. I knew this guy that I'm talking about. I'm telling y'all what I know. I do not make a habit of defaming people's characters. I do not make a habit of doing lives on people. For those of you that have followed me for a very long time, it is what it is. I'm telling you what I know. This guy is a predator. I want to say about this specific false prophet that I'm speaking of.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So that was part of her response. She did like a 20-something minute live about this. It's still on her page. You can go to Tiphani Montgomery on Facebook and check it out.
Tiphani. I'm gonna go with Tiphani.
No, her name is she pronounces it Tiffany.
Looks like Tiphani. It looks like a water. It looks like alkaline water. Tiphani. She is from the Swiss Alps with her water, and it has extra electrolytes in it. Tiphani waters. That's what she is. But hey, man, somebody said it was Derek. Derek said she got an Invisalign ministry, and so amen for her fresh teeth because she is crest fresh and then joints is straight. So amen. For a good smile. Amen,
she's
amen.
Listerine.
She Listerine. That's true.
Let's get our brands right, okay?
Get my brands right. I apologize.
All right. So Tiphani and Brian Carn, brothers.
But did she explain during that 20-minute cleanup what the Listerine was for besides breath?
No. She just said she admits like she's not sure exactly what it's for, but she's like, I got this word from the Lord and I'm going to share it.
So there are going to be pockets of people all around the country chewing up the Listerine and just having it at the house and not even using it. Still walking around with funky breath. And then when I go look for my plaques, it's going to be missing. You see how it happens?
I'll say this real quick. In the same video, she talks about how over a year and a half ago, before COVID hit, God told her to stock up on masks. And she wasn't sure why, but she bought a bunch. She stocked up on masks. And then COVID hit, and she was able to use those masks and give it to frontline workers.
Okay.
So I'm just saying. I'm not familiar with her ministry, so I can't say, I can't say this sister is legit. I'm assuming she is, but I can't ride with her because I don't know her.
What Gary said. Both are just repeating what they heard on the news a few months ago.
So all right.
Can we get Chris Townsend on the screen, please? Because I need somebody to verify this. Chris Townsend to be saying random stuff, and we gonna act like it didn't happen. Chris says Listerine can be used for cold sores and foot baths. True story. First of all, Listerine will burn off anything. So I believe the cold sores part. Your foot baths?
I don't know.
How much Listerine are you using? Are you mixing it with something?
He ain't never used Listerine for no foot bath. He just knows random facts.
He does. He's one of those people.
Yes. It's probably true, but
probably
he doesn't
true.
know it from experience.
Oh, Donna gonna chime in. He's right. Thank you, Donna. Somebody send me an article. So peer review.
I've never heard of that, but all right. So we gotta do a couple quick things before we get out of here. I want you to check this out. What do you think about these sister shoes?
Oh my God.
So as long as you are shouting on beat, I have no problem with the pick them up, put them down. You know what I'm saying? Amen for this, sister. Amen. See, I'm gonna be quiet.
That's so creative. That is so creative.
Somebody asked, do they work?
Drip.
It's not drip.
It would look like they do.
It does look like they do. It's not drip.
Because, that's just a regular shoe. It's just strapped on. The tambourine part is just strapped on. Yeah.
Right here.
Who took the time to break down a tambourine, hot glue a strap to it, and then put it on your shoe? I got other jokes besides this. So I'm not gonna get
bless her heart.
I got some jokes, but no.
All
I want to see these in action. We have people offering videos for these to work, offering money for videos of these in working. I don't know.
Does she have multiple?
You know how annoying, you know how mad the ushers are at her? She's not allowed to get up during the service. She's not allowed to move. She can't cross her ankles because every time she moves or sneezes, you just hear her.
Hey, why she can't cross her ankles?
I know. Okay. See, let's move on. She about to get me down these jokes. I got some jokes here. Let's move.
All right. Well, it's almost 10 o'clock. So you got to rant for the people because you said
yes.
so I might as well give you space.
Oh, I got some because the outside is open. I've been writing down some things. And it's not rants. Okay, a few rants. But I have some questions. That's the wrong list. Where's my list at? Okay. First of all, let me cover this. I tend to come on here and I represent for the plus size people. And so I want to represent one more time for inclusivity in fashion. This time I am specifically speaking to footwear makers. I like to talk to Nike and Reebok and Adidas. Y'all don't make nothing past a size 15 when the hotness comes out. I am a size 16 in my shoe. I can't get my foot scrunched up in them shoes. I got a good job now. I'm willing to spend money that I've never spent before on your shoes. But guess what? I can't get no size 16 because you'll stop at a 15. And then y'all make the rare shoe that is at a 16. First of all, they'll make so few of them, people buy them all up, and they'll want to charge me $325 for it. Guess what I'm not going to do? Never in America. I wear dress shoes. I will pay $300 for a dress shoe. Some Johnson & Wales. I'm getting to that level. I'm not there yet. But if you know a good dress shoe, you know what I'm talking about. But I am not going to pay $320 for it. But I need more inclusivity in shoe sizes. I see a hot pair of shoes. I go to them. It blanks out at 15. What am I going to do with that? Please be more inclusive. That's all I'm asking.
So you saying the companies that make basketball shoes don't make basketball shoes in sizes that basketball players would wear?
Not the fashion stuff. If so, they make them direct. They don't sell them. Like all the different versions of Jordan. You know what I'm saying? The different colorways. It allow them to stop at a 15. I'll be on the Nike site. I'll be ready to buy something. But no, they shut the whole thing down.
But no, you're saying they don't sell them at the price that you want to pay.
No, at all.
At all. Yeah, what he was referring to is that resellers will come in and buy it.
Okay.
We're not like that's why it's hard to get the new Jordan because people will buy it and then resell it on StockX or Go or eBay.
Okay.
For sometimes double the retail price.
There's a pair of gray Jordans
because
right now.
They know that people who want them. So that's
and if I want them, I'm going to have to pay $325, and I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
I feel like you need like a shoe guy though. Like you need an in at nowhere in State College.
I got a guy, but everything he tells
in Philly
me
or something.
Yeah.
And he be your shoe guy. He calls you and say, look, I got XYZ in, or I ordered, somebody who can order direct.
A connect.
Yes.
Yeah. Sherry, thank you. Sherry just joined the neighborhood. I'm not going to acknowledge you. She's texting me, talking about call the shoe companies directly. Quit texting me while I'm on the show, Sherry.
You could do that.
Quit texting me. The other one, I'm going to talk about this real quick.
Letter.
My mom still be writing letters, yo. I'm like, who's reading these letters, Mom? Anyway, I want to talk about the bias and discrimination surrounding green text. And what I'm talking about specifically is all y'all Apple people out there who got the Apple phones, and anytime you text with somebody and it comes back as a green bubble, because y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all in the neighborhood know what I'm talking about. Y'all know it automatically means that they don't have an Apple. And I am constantly shamed by my students and others. Oh, a green bubble. Oh, a green bubble. I have literally had conversations with some of my young students, and when young women will tell me that they won't talk to dudes that don't have Apple phones. See, people know what I'm talking about. It's ridiculous. I don't understand that. They're serious, and they say they are repulsed by the fact that it's not, because I guess it's certain
I can give them some stuff they should be repulsed about.
Yeah, these young girls don't know any better.
And not having an iPhone isn't even on the list.
They're just dumb.
It is.
They should be repulsed. The problem is, I guess this is a part of your job. The problem is they have your phone number.
That's part of my.
That's the first problem.
Right. You see, and you should be shamed and mocked. Team Apple. What? I don't understand it. But I'm getting it a lot lately, and y'all doing too much. You know what?
How much didn't they just give that man a bonus of however many $1 billion or a whole bunch of millions of dollars for like the anniversary of Apple? Somebody in the chat knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, somebody just called.
He just got some big at Apple. He just got some big. The president, the CEO just got some big bonus. So it's like, yeah. And meanwhile, all the people who are like Team Apple, and you're making him rich.
Can I get Kristen on the screen? Because Kristen understands what I'm talking about. She's more mature than me, though. Kristen says, I'm on the school leadership team at work, and they literally start a group chat without me because I'm the only one. She's Team Galaxy. She's Team Samsung. And she said, I literally don't care.
Wow.
Well, sis, I'm just tired of being laughed at and made fun of, because I was also I hung on to my what was the other phone that had the keyboard on it back in the day?
BlackBerry.
I hung on to my BlackBerry a little long, and I was also mocked for that needlessly. So maybe I'm a little sensitive about this.
BlackBerry dropped the bag. If they would have changed the operating system, that phone would still be selling.
They could have fixed that whole.
That used to be a good, yeah.
All they had to do was put Android on that same phone.
All they had to do. I believe in business machines, not toys. Y'all can take your toy with you. Last but not least, I really have a question. I have a question for the fellas. Fellas, we're doing a lot nowadays. We're becoming more inclusive in our wear. I grew up in a generation that was inspired by the Fab Five, by Michael Jordan. We kept a long short. I am noticing nowadays, and it has been for the last few years, the short has been creeping further and further up the thigh for the gentleman.
Yeah, I don't get
it. It has hit a point now where I'm walking around campus where I'm seeing whole hamstrings on the fellas. And I had a gentleman come into my office, and I will give him kudos. It looked like he had definitely moisturized that day. And I said, player, why is so much of your thigh in my office right now? He said, hey, Gary, man, I've been in the gym this summer. I got to show him, dog. I got to show him.
Oh, goodness.
And he was serious.
I got to show him.
Yo, sun's out, thighs out. They're very serious about this.
Wow.
And I thought it was just him, right? Because he's a fly dude. He like doing. I was outside yesterday giving away ice cream to the students. I saw more young men, especially young African American men, walking around with these 4-inch shorts that I just wasn't ready for. And then they got, yes, Vicky, they have them hammies showing. And it's can I get Donna Abdullah on the screen? Can I get Donna Abdullah on the screen? Hey, can't say I mind. Show them yams, gentlemen. This is what we're dealing with. This is what's been happening.
Straight up thirst traps.
And guess what? Guess what? The fellas know it and they're going for it. And they tell me, they're like, Gary, I've been working my legs. And they will get up and they're moisturizing. They're getting their freshes and cocoa butter. And here's one thing I've noticed, and this is where it might start a debate. It's been mostly darker skinned gentlemen because they're hitting the gym, they get their cocoa butter, and they out here looking like that dude off Insecure, and they out here just killing them. I was like, fellas, kudos to you, but why is your thigh touching my chair in my office right now? It's like, I just need a little bit more material between you and the materials in my chair. There's a lot happening. And so my question is this: how short are we going, fellas? How short? Because even I have felt the pressure. Because I keep my shorts hitting my mid calf. I even think I look crazy now.
Capri.
Yeah, that's like a mid calf.
I grew up in a generation where mid calf with Tim's during the summer. And you only have about that much skin
t-shirt.
Yep.
That's
where I grew up.
At the knee. I don't think I ever rocked past it.
And so I'm looking for shorts nowadays that just hit the knee. But what I'm finding is they don't even make those. It's all thighs out. And I'm not ready to make that jump. I've been in the gym. I've been working. I've been hitting my squats and my quads. I got some things to show, but I'm not ready for that yet. And so, my fellas, I just got a question. I'm asking you, how short are we going? If y'all can just let me know so I can see where the future is headed, because we're doing a lot. And I just need help. I just need some guidance. That's all. Sun's like out, thighs out.
Just like on the Cosby Show. Give him a little leg and take it back. A little more leg. Take it right back. Take it right back.
And the fellas is out here showing all the leg. And it's just a lot. I just drooled on myself. I got a little excited. I'm sorry. But yes, I did. It's just a lot. Here, okay. Can we get Donna Abdullah one more time?
Donna's out here.
She's having a whole moment to herself. Donna's having a whole moment. God has gifted black men with a powerful lower body. High booty plus thick thighs plus cocoa butter equals chef's kiss. First of all, I'm tired of y'all these chef's kiss. If I hear one more person talk to me about chef's kiss, I'm gonna strangle somebody. But I can't say that her description is wrong, because that is the type that is walking around with these short shorts. I ain't seen no big boys out there with the short shorts. Now I have seen big boys out there with these tight shorts, and that's another discussion for another. I'm gonna put it this way: if your thighs rub and you get them bumps because it's like too sweaty outside, you shouldn't have certain tight shorts on. That's just my thoughts. That's just my thoughts. Fellas, that's just
risk it all.
Yep. And y'all out here doing the most. But it's just, let me know exactly how short are y'all going. Dr. T, do you have anything for the people?
I have a couple quick things. I haven't noticed that. I've been so focused on trying to make sure people keeping their mask on around me. I haven't been looking at how they're dressed. Nope. And I've just been trying to get back to my office. And everyone isn't following the rules. Y'all.
Okay,
your mask protects me and mine protects you. Okay. Like, masking is caring. And I actually had to walk into my classroom today. And see, this is why I get a bad rap, because students push me there.
Oh, it's the students' fault. Okay.
Yes, it's absolutely their fault. A certain student sitting right there in my face.
No, man. Really? That's bold.
Real bold. Real bold. What this student don't know, because I saw her cup. We're in the same sorority.
Okay.
So I'm going to find out who she is.
Oh.
and we're going to have a conversation about it. But the thing is, it's like, I shouldn't have to tell anybody to put on their mask. Like, that's ridiculous, but that's not my thing. Two quick things. This isn't a rant. One is clickbait on Netflix. Oh my goodness. I'm almost through with that series. This is a new series on Netflix. It's a mini series. You're welcome. Watch it this weekend. You know the drill. Get your beverage of choice and go in. And you're going to need to like set aside some time because you're not going to want to stop watching it until you get to the end and you figure out what's happening.
Clickbait. I'm with you.
Here's another hilarious show that I discovered. It came up on, it was a commercial. There's a show about neighbors. This is on A&E. It's like Extreme Neighbors or something like that.
Love it.
It's insane. Be kind to your neighbors.
Be kind to your neighbors.
If you got a dog and you walk the dog, pick up the dog's poop.
Pick up the poop. Pick up poop.
Basic stuff that people are not doing. If there's assigned parking spaces, don't park in your in somebody else's parking space. Park in your own parking space, right? Like just these people were coming to blows. Police were involved. One dude just lit somebody's apartment on fire, and they have no idea why he did it. So if you have neighbors that don't do these things, thank God for your neighbors.
Yep.
Maybe pass them a little something, go to Home Goods, get them some hot cocoa for Christmas or something.
The beverage of their choice.
Yes, like be grateful for your neighbors if you have good ones, and be a better neighbor. That's what I took away from that. Like, I'm going to be an even better neighbor. I don't have a dog and we keep our trash in our own trash receptacles, but people are out here struggling with their neighbors. There are some crazy people out here. One lady was just taking a hammer to somebody else's car.
Wild.
It's insane.
This show is amazing. Happening. First of all, I watched it. I know everything she's talking
hilarious.
About. It's crazy the content that is being produced for free nowadays. If you have a Ring camera on your phone or one of them cameras on your front door now, you may be missing out on content gold because they're making whole shows around it now and they're making good money off of it. But hey, it's real stuff out there. I don't want to jump back. I need to address Chris Townsend real quick.
Okay.
Can you get his last comment? No, not his last one. The one before that. Is it weird? It's high up there now. I need to hear some larger reasoning behind this. Chris says, is it weird that I assume that dudes with higher shorts are wealthier?
I think he means from a prep, if it's like a preppy look kind of thing.
That's fine. Okay,
I guess that
I'm not rocking no shorts.
Here's the thing. Some of the gentlemen he talked about, some of them are new money. Like these are like the one cat I talked about, he just signed the offer. He gonna be making $75K out his first job. And so like he never had a job before. And so like some of these young boys get a little bit of money, and I guess that's the thing nowadays. Less material, more expensive short. But I'm talking a solid 4 inches of thigh. It's a lot happening.
And then when somebody sits down, that's even more thigh.
And so I'm here. I'm here.
But then they're sitting so close to each other in the classrooms.
Somebody's legs, eyes are touching. It's a lot of thigh on thigh action. And that should wrap it up.
Thigh on thigh action. Good Lord.
That should wrap it up.
Good Lord.
Not good. Donna has one more comment for the people. She wants to give credit where credit is due. Donna Abdullah is obviously a connoisseur of shorts that I did not know.
Donna might need a minute.
Donna says, well, African and Caribbean men been in high and tight shorts. Didn't know this. Sure. It sounds like you've done some research that I haven't. But it seems to be spreading to the mass culture.
Meanwhile, women have been walking around in like big baggy 90s era jeans.
It's a whole thing that's happening. I'm not gonna comment on because you ain't gonna get me in trouble. I've noticed
with holes in them.
With holes in
But,
them. I
mean,
don't
they look
understand
very
it.
cute. It's a whole Brandy moment. That's what it made me think about. But
It's a whole thing.
It's 90s, so
It
they
is.
walking around hot,
Looking like Mayan Bialik off Blossom.
and the guys are walking around catching the breeze. All right,
Catching
now.
all the breezes.
All right. So before we go, I just want to say that we talked about B.Slade, formerly Tone, and his talent, and that album he had a couple years, well, a lot of years ago, Out the Box, one of the best gospel albums of all time.
It is.
Well, I didn't know this, but a couple years ago, like a year and a half ago, he released Out the Box 2 and Out the Box 3. It is on the free Bandcamp app. So if you get the Bandcamp app, it's free. You can check out the Box 2 and Out the Box 3. It's under the name B.Slade, not Tone.
Okay.
You can check it out.
I'm gonna check it out. So he's not streaming that on the big streamers.
Well, I mean, you'd have to pay for the big streamers to listen to it. You get Bandcamp for free.
That's
So
true.
he's a man of the people. You see,
he's a man of the people.
Yes.
Shout out to talented
I don't
brother.
know how Bandcamp compensates people, but that Bandcamp app is free, and you can check out the Box 2 and Out the Box 3 from B.Slade, formerly known as Tone.
I want to thank everybody, our listeners on YouTube, Just Playing 12, Chris Townsend, King Fusion. I know most of them. I'm not sure what King Fusion is, but shout out to, do you know King Fusion? Shout out to King Fusion if he's a new listener that I don't know.
One of them is CJ. Which one is CJ?
I don't know.
I think CJ is King Fusion.
Maybe that, yeah.
Okay, maybe that is CJ then. Okay. My face is back. That's good to see. Thank you, Tracy. Tracy trying to I love Tracy. Tracy, she don't quite ghost watch, but she let me know she's watching. She don't say as much in the chat though, but she'll let me know she's watching. But thank you to everybody out there watching, listening. We have great fun with y'all. We appreciate y'all every week. Okay, it's always CJ. My bad, CJ. Go ahead.
I'm CJ.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
He be getting mad.
Leave my man alone. Leave my man alone. Thank you all neighbors for hanging with us tonight. We do this show every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on Facebook and YouTube. If you can't watch live, that's okay, even though you're more than welcome to hang with us live and comment. I promise nobody's going to come after you. But if you can't, you can go to turntoyourneighbor.com and check out all the different ways you can watch us on demand, YouTube, Facebook, the podcast, wherever you get your podcasts, businessbully.tv. Lots of different places and ways to watch the show. We thank you for however that you hang out with us. We really appreciate it. Thank you to all the neighbors. Are y'all good?
I'm good. Dr. T?
I'm great.
-3. Orange is the
no, Out the Box.
Out the Box. Oh yeah, thank you.
3. You were just talking about it, brother.
I know. I'm sorry. Thank you, Just Playing 12. I don't know where my mind was. This is why it's time to go.
You was sitting there looking like you was wholly confused, like you just said it.
I was like, what kind of code is? Did I miss something? But thank you. I think
at least put OTB on the screen now that you done talked about them.
Out the Box.
No.
Oh, you're talking about Just Playing 12?
Just Playing 12. Yeah, give them some love.
Yeah, I was like, what is OTB 2-3? Yeah, sorry. Thank you. Just Playing. Thank you. All right, y'all. Until next time, take care and be blessed. Peace.